My name is Sean Herman. I ran a music blog, but then I turned it into kind of an independent record label. At first it was, oh, I can write about these bands. Oh, I can write about record labels too. Oh, I can talk to the people involved with the music scene, like the graphic designer and the filmmaker. And then another project I started working on, I'm doing a one-day festival too. So just different ideas like that kept popping in my head, and over the summer I put together a compilation of a bunch of bands that I had covered in the blog, and one response I got from that was that they didn't want to be on the comp because it was going to be released digitally, and they would only do it if it was a physical release. So that just kind of got me thinking. I went ahead and did the digital comp anyway because it was easy, free. You just had to get the tracks from the bands and put it online. And I think it's gotten 200 plus downloads, so that was cool. But anyway, it just got me thinking, physical releases. And another thing about the underground music scene is it's not a bunch of high profile names, so there's not a lot of money involved. So that was also something that came into consideration too, is that I have a decent chunk of money saved up from I started working in high school and been working ever since. So I just have a lot saved up, and that's something that a lot of bands don't really have, is money, because most of the shows they do are in basements or garages or donation only, so they don't earn a lot of money. So anyway, the idea was that, hey, I could help these bands out by putting out their music in physical form, either cassette or vinyl. Some people may say it's outdated, but I think it's a tribute to some of our older musical history, especially in the underground scene. The first release we have lined up, I say we, that's a weird kind of pattern, I guess. A bunch of these independent labels are run by one person, and on social media networks they say, we got a bunch of releases lined up or whatever. So I don't know, it just makes it more personable. But anyway, I guess have a bunch of releases, 2 lined up so far, and I've been talking to about 4 to 5 other bands. First one, it's a band called Tawny Peaks from New Jersey, and I found them initially when I was kind of researching bands to write about in the blog, and they just so happened to need some help putting out a release for their tour in about a month. So I offered to help, and we got my first cassette release. It's at the manufacturing plant right now, and it should arrive around Christmas, so hopefully it gets here before their tour. The second one, I have a couple of friends in Chicago, and they just happened to start a new band called Kitty Hawk, and I just sent them an email, and I really liked their music, so I was like, hey, do you want to release a cassette tape? And they were like, yeah, that sounds awesome. So we're still in the works, working out the artwork and everything, but the order forms and whatnot should be sent pretty soon. Skeletal Lightning Fest started off as another idea branching out from the blog, just to celebrate the cool things that people are doing in the underground music scene. And I've worked a lot on details and everything, so I have just about everything planned out. I'm just waiting for April to come. It's going to be April 6th at the Red Herring Vegetarian Restaurant and the Channing Murray Foundation. It's all in the same building. It's going to be 2 stages. One's going to be upstairs in the Channing Murray, and then another downstairs. So one band will go on at 2, the next band will go on at like 2:30 downstairs, next band will go on upstairs. So it kind of rotates, makes it more efficient, and we can pack in a lot more bands and everything. I have 14 bands confirmed so far, so it's pretty big. I think a lot of people really enjoy this too. It's a bunch of pretty about as well known as you can get in the underground music scene, specifically in the Midwest. So I think a lot of people will show up and should be fun.